Hello, everyone. Welcome to our team call on August 4th, 2021. It's officially Leo season, and we are ready to get the fire popping on our butts and get some things done this month, right, guys?
Yeah.
That is
Or were you like planning on that phrase?
No, I just said just came to me. So let's start by going around and really recognizing all the amazing things that have happened in the last week. I'm so excited. Savannah and Elena both decided to capitalize their business after the last call that we had. Capitalize their business, meaning make a personal investment in their products. And we were talking a little bit amongst ourselves, but I want you guys to share what was the shift that you felt happen before versus after making that decision?
Yeah. Sure. So for me, I was kind of like it's a bit different circumstance than most people, just because I've already had a product experience and I've been exposed to every single product. Although I experienced something that I actually didn't expect to experience. I wanted the incentive and I knew I was getting it one way or another, because
the incentive being the additional bonuses.
Yeah, because I knew that this month, August, was going to be a fire under my bum and I was going to be working for it.
Yeah.
And so that was my motivation. And then so I was kind of relying on other people to get me that 500 points and customers, rather than really taking that initiative myself. So I decided I'm not going to wait for somebody else to get me what I want. I'm going to get what I want and make that decision myself. So I took the power in my own hands and I bought myself a whole bunch of different items that would get me enough points, but that I could also use for myself, for others, for demonstrations. I went really strategic with what I thought would be best for me. And after that, I felt like, as I was putting the purchase through, as I was like typing my information, I kind of felt this like, like I was like, oh, I feel really good. And I ran into my sister's room like, so if I just placed my order, like I feel so good. And it was almost like a sense of like I didn't feel stressed about money at all. Like that wasn't even the focus of my feelings or when it happened. I just felt good. I felt like I did something for myself and I made a decision. And I think it's that making the decision to take the power into your own hands, to choose your reality. I think that was what was very powerful for me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
How about you, Elena?
Yeah, I think my experience, I'm just trying to think, because for me, it was kind of like calling myself out, I think, in a way. I think we've talked a lot about, this is actually one of the biggest lessons that I've been able to take away in the last 3 months, having started this business and now operating as like working as an entrepreneur. And I think I noticed it in myself because it was reflected back to me in the people that I was working with and the people that I was interacting with. And each of those experiences kind of just called myself out, where I noticed there was kind of like this lag between understanding the principles of success and knowing what needs to be done, and then actually applying it and, really putting it into action. And I think a lot of us understand things in theory, we listen to the mentors, we read the books that we need to read, but I feel like I was kind of just sitting around waiting for that perfect time to do it, especially where the investment was concerned. It was almost like putting it off because I didn't feel comfortable with where, let's say, my bank account was at. And I wasn't ready to like release or let go of, the funds that was needed to invest. And so until I realized there's never going to be the perfect time. Like most often than not, you're going to have to act before you think that you're ready. And there's going to be a lot of discomfort. That's, a lot of discomfort that comes with that. But for me, it was just like the shift that took place in terms of really saying and deciding like, this is it. Like I'm doing this. There's no turning back at this point.
Right.
I feel like once I made that investment energetically, I now identified with this reality, and I could feel everything around me start to shift, similar to what Savannah was saying, where, I wasn't worried about the monetary investment that I was making, because I was already thinking about all the ways in which it was now going to return, because I've now
Right.
into that reality. I've now become the individual who is in alignment with that reality. I decided, and now my experience is going to reflect that, right?
Right.
So it was I think it was a really big confidence boost for myself. Like, I feel like I now have the confidence to move forward with this business and to tell people, this is what I'm doing. I know how to share it with others now. And I now have almost like substance or evidence for myself
Mhm.
that demonstrates like, this is what has been done. And this is now what I'm doing moving forward. So it was a really big energetic shift, I think, that took place for me, you know, similar to what you guys said. We don't need the products. We have a product experience. But I think for me now, it's really applying and practicing the principles where success is concerned, in terms of making the decisions that you want other people to make, and making
Yes.
decisions that are in alignment with the kind of experience and reality that you want to have. Because
Yeah.
nothing is going to change until
Yep.
you act.
I
Right?
even feel like, honestly, from the outside looking in and seeing the shift in both you guys over this last week, it's almost seems like, especially with you, Elena, you're so much more confident now being direct with people and asking for exactly what you want, because you're like, I want people to meet me where I'm at. And
Exactly.
because you've made a personal investment, you're like, I want someone who's going to invest the time, energy, resources that I'm putting in. And I can now ask for that confidently because I'm actually doing it myself.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know?
And I noticed that. Sorry, what were you going to say, Sophia? Oh, I think we got cut off. But I noticed that.
So,
Right.
not Sophia.
Oh.
For anyone listening to this recording, we have decided that I am Sophia and Soph is Soph.
Yeah.
Medico is Soph.
Okay, we're good. But I noticed that immediately after, because I actually had an ABC call with a friend of mine the next day, and I was able to tell him directly, point blank, you know, this is the kind of investment that you might be looking at with respect to getting into this business and actually launching it and running with it and doing well with it. And I've done it myself. And the people that I'm working with are now doing it as well. It almost sets like a precedent where we now know the kind of people that we want to be working with.
Yeah.
And we know, you know, how to fine tune that process a little bit more. Right. And it's the confidence to say it directly,
Right.
you know, with full transparency. Yeah, this is what I've done. And if you're going to work with me, this is what you're going to do too. If you want to generate the results that we want to generate in this business.
Right. And you're way more motivated now to actually take action.
I think it's just the principle too, that you can't expect somebody to do what you're not willing to do.
I mean, you can, it's just much more difficult to lead that way.
Yeah.
There's more effort involved to try to convince someone to do something you've never done before. Right. So yeah, it's very much aligned with that. But yeah, we're excited.
Feeling really good. I also wanted to congratulate Soph.
Yes.
Because wow, what a killer way to kickstart your Nikan journey and your business.
Yes.
Just signing up and capitalizing right there on the spot. Right when you did that, you identified yourself as a leader.
Absolutely.
And I was very, very impressed. My dad was very impressed as well. We were all impressed, honestly. And just because a lot of people have to go through those mental barriers first.
Yeah.
Right? Like, none of us three capitalized on the first day of starting our business because we were still like, one foot in, one foot out. And that's why nothing happened up until that point. But once we actually made that leap, now it's like you have this newfound confidence and motivation. So I wanted to ask you, why did you make that decision?
From even the first meeting I had with your dad, Mike, I honestly just felt really, I felt something, and I felt a power, almost like I can do this, like this speaks to me. And so then after our first team meeting last week, I kind of, with the information that was provided, I was like, I can totally do this. This is exactly what I was looking for, and I'm ready. Like, I was like, let's do this. So I was gonna literally just speak up in the meeting and be like, okay, so can I start now? But, yeah.
But I think
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good feeling. Even like after I bought it, I was like so excited. It came in today. I was like, I'm setting this up right now. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I think that's a very important point that you touched on too, is like, we need to be able to make decisions in the moment in which we feel like the desire to do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
When we wait and prolong that process, that the barriers come up, right?
Yep.
And then we overthink and we will talk ourselves out of it because
Yeah.
the decision that we're probably going to make is very unfamiliar to us. And based
Yep.
on the past experiences that we've had, we're probably going to say no,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So the fact that you took initiative and you made the decision in the moment that you knew you needed to make it rather than waiting is very admirable.
Mhm.
And it's what, again, like Soph had said, distinguishes the leaders in this business from the individuals who are essentially just going to fall out and not make it everything that it could be.
Right.
Right.
And you're going to attract people who are the same way, which is very, very important.
Mhm.
So just wanted to congratulate you and say, and also Soph showed up for a meeting at the house this week and talked to my dad, had a whole presentation about contact and invite, cash flow. So
She's like,
it's
"What?"
getting to know the products a little bit, like, you're ready to go. And that's what we're honestly looking for, because like we've said, we are looking to, we're starting a fire right now. We're starting a fire. We need dry logs,
Yeah.
like we can't have wet logs right now. Maybe when our fire is huge and big, we can afford to do that kind of thing. But right now we need those people who are going to take action and who are going to help us build this momentum, because
Yeah.
this is going to be a movement that goes far beyond us, but we're the match that's sparking that fire. So I'm just really happy, really excited to have you on our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Me too.
Thank you.
I'm excited.
And our last recognition, Sophia over here reached silver.
She did her silver run. She did her silver run last month.
Yeah,
and-
July. And
yeah.
how long did that take you? So how many months?
So because it was like a silver one, so silver is 6,000 OV, like organizational volume, in 3 months time. So I had, within like the 2 months preceding this, around 3,000 OV. So I was about halfway there. And my dad said to me, you're going for your silver run, because it's the 3rd month and you can do that volume. You can do it in a week if you wanted to, realistically.
In a
Just-
day, if you wanted to.
You could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people in
It's-
Latin
it-
America are doing it in a day.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really just a matter of making this decision, right? So yeah, I would love to share a little bit about kind of what I learned in this process of going silver.
Please.
Yes.
So first and foremost, the first thing I did at the beginning of the month was I decided I'm going silver this month. 3,000 OV is what I need. I need volume in 2 legs of my business. And it's going to happen one way or another. I wasn't set on the details of it. I just knew that one way or another, it was going to happen. I trusted that everything was going to, everything was going to line up as it may. But that doesn't mean that I just sat there and thought about it and wrote, I did write it down. So I'm so happy and grateful to reach silver by this month. I visualized it. I felt it. I did all the things that you're supposed to do with the law of attraction, except I didn't stop there. Then I actually went to work. I took action. And that's something I think we all need to realize is it's law of action plus law of attraction. It's both. First, your mindset has to be in the right place, because then your body is not going to do anything if it's not. If I hadn't made the decision at the beginning of the month that I was going silver that month, I wouldn't have acted the way that I acted throughout the month. So first and foremost, make a decision. And we're going to talk at the end of this meeting about what goals are we setting for the next week and for the next month, and how we need to make a decision now, right here, right now, if we want that to actually happen and take place. Now, second thing was I noticed that a lot of the things that transpired, because most of what happened that got me to that silver marker happened in the last week and a half. And I achieved about 4,000 OV in that last week and a half. But it wasn't just from activities that were taking place in the last week and a half. These were activities that had been taking place for a month to a month and a half prior that finally, capitalized themselves in the last few week and a half. So I learned really like the beauty of the follow-up, how follow-up is so, so important, and how you bring people into this process, and some of them what might not end up being consultants, but they might end up being customers, or they might end up referring you to someone who is then a customer. And you really got to start to be resourceful and learn how to get comfortable getting uncomfortable. Like sometimes it's uncomfortable asking people for help, even if it's your friends. you know? And then following up with them if they didn't do what they said they were going to do, right? That's super uncomfortable because
Yeah.
you know, for you, it matters. For you, you need to keep people accountable. For them, they don't really feel the same pressure. But and you know, to have to follow up with someone like 2, 3, 4 times about the same thing, it's really uncomfortable. I felt like I was going to puke a lot of the time in the last month. I'm not going to lie, but you know what? I followed my dad's directions and it paid off. And so sometimes you are going to be uncomfortable. And I was facing this kind of inner struggle a little bit, and I'll just be like fully transparent and open with you guys about it. But I was like facing this inner struggle between, is this selfish or is this service? Because I always want to be in a state of service, right? But I knew that I had a goal to reach, and I knew that I had to make some sales in order to have that happen, right? And I was like, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be too forward, too direct. I don't want to put pressure on people, because then it's serving my own self-interest. And I talked to my dad a little bit about this. I talked to Elena and Savannah a little bit about this, and it's then they helped me like make this mental switch and realize that, you know, really what we're in the business of doing is helping people make decisions that are in their best interest. I'm not scamming anyone by telling them about the waterfall and how awesome it is and reminding them about it when they said they were going to buy it and then they haven't done it yet. I'm not scamming anyone. I'm not doing anyone dirty. I'm helping them. I'm giving them the best quality water there is on the planet, or maybe it's an energy pack, and I'm introducing them to a technology that can bring them a lot more ease in their everyday life. You know, so really switching over and realizing people aren't in the habit of making decisions for themselves, even if it's in their best interest. People aren't in the habit of making decisions, period. Right. But if we can remember that everything we're doing is inevitably going to help them in some way, even if they're a little resistant at first, like, I think we always have to stay in that vibration of knowing, like, you know, that person knows it's in their best interest too, but they're just scared. It's just that wall of that fear, that terror. And yeah, you're not going to be able to help everyone make a decision, but you will be able to help some if you are consistent, if you follow up with them, if you're willing to get a little bit uncomfortable, and obviously do this with the most respect, period. Remind people what their why is. Remind people why we even start having this conversation. Why? Because you told me you care about your health. You want to live a healthy, active life. You told me that you care about having financial freedom. You told me all of these things. I want to help you get that. But this is what you need to do. And I know it's uncomfortable, but if nothing changes, if nothing changes, right? And so my dad tells me we're paid to have an opinion, you know? It's people who don't have opinions that don't do anything. When you are firm and confident in your opinion that these are products that can truly transform someone's life. And of course, Sophia, you haven't had like a full experience with it yet, but you will. I've known this for years. And so that's why I'm like, why do I don't need to keep, like, for lack of a better word, like pussyfooting around when I know how amazing these products are. And I know that by helping someone make that decision to invest in them, I'm doing them a favor. I'm not taking away from them in any way. So that's another lesson that I learned, and it helped me get a lot more confident just in my ability to talk to people and to inform them about the products or inform them about the business opportunity, and to give them a little bit of tough love sometimes, honestly, when it was necessary. Because no one's straight up with anyone anymore, you know. Like you got to be that person who's going to be straight up with them in a loving way, but also, like, don't let people make excuses, because I've just learned so much about like human psychology in the last month, and anyone going for your silver run, it's going to be uncomfortable. And please ask me, Savannah, Elena, or my dad what to say if you're in a situation where you're like, I don't know what to say to this person's giving me excuses, they were saying one thing before, now they're saying another thing, they're not answering me, whatever it might be. Ask us, and you might be what my dad tells you to say might be uncomfortable, but I promise you that if you follow the instructions, remember that he's the expert. He is the expert. He's been doing this for 30 years. We are not the experts, right? And if you follow his instructions, you will reach your goal. I know because I did it.
And of course,
Yep.
be yourself, like make it you, but don't sugarcoat. Listen, like I can,
Gotta be forward and direct with
yeah,
people.
I can speak on that. I get so uncomfortable, but like honestly, it's the most direct way to be, and it's the way that gets results.
Yes, I also, something I learned, very important, guys. The best way to have someone actually take action is to get on the phone with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like you can send them the link all day, every day. You can send them all the information in the world, but there's no accountability unless you actually get on the phone with them. So something I started doing in the last week and a half that I think actually converted all those prior conversations I had had with potential customers or potential business partners into an actual like decision, into a sale. What shifted that was I started saying, let's get on the phone and do this together.
Yeah.
And then I would get on the phone with them and I would actually like walk them through the process of buying it right then and there. And I would talk to them about the products. I would help them make a decision on the phone. I would explain to them something I actually also started doing that's really important, especially because during the month of July, we had that promotion where it was 20% cash credit for any purchase over 250. So what I started doing was breaking down the cost of things, especially those higher ticket items. For example, the water pack. I would tell people the waterfall, if you just get that alone, it's going to be $1.34 a day for a year of clean alkaline water. If you get the water pack, it's going to be $2.30 a day for a year of clean alkaline water in all of your home. And honestly, let's be honest, if you're concerned enough about drinking clean water, you're concerned enough to shower in clean water as well, because of how much chlorine you will be absorbed straight through your skin, right? You know, every time you take a shower. And I just broke down like the price difference in a way that made them see how feasible it is and how valuable it is. Like you spend more on that, on coffee every day, you know? So that was something that I think really helped people like not be so overwhelmed by a price, by seeing like a big price. You could do the same thing for the sleep system. And then I would tell them, and after that, it only gets less expensive because you already have the waterfall, you already have the shower head. All you need to do is replace the cartridges. And I'll tell them the cost of that. So it's just these little things that I started picking up when it comes to human psychology and understanding how to actually make someone take action. You know, explaining to them why this price is such a great price for actually what you're getting them on the phone and having them make the purchase with you on the phone, answering any questions they might have right there live, actually making sure that happens. Because people will be like, yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll get to it. But the second they're on the phone with you, there's no more running away. It's like, no, we're going to do this now. You just say, when are you free for a phone call? Let's get this done. Because a lot of people express to me, yes, I want this. Yes, I'm going to get this. Then it's like, okay, but like when? Because for me, the timing makes a difference, right? I'm going for a goal by the end of this month. So even I had one person who they invested in an energy pack. But one thing I said to her, she wanted the water, she wanted the energy. When people are indecisive, then don't make a decision. So I said, you get the energy pack now with the 20% cash credit, you're going to have $250 to spend. That pays for half a waterfall next month. Boom.
Yeah.
It was like, that sounds awesome. I'm all in. So now not only did she buy an energy pack last month, she's going to buy a waterfall following month. You know, so you look at the cost of things and you break it down so people can see how feasible it is. So these are just little tips and tricks that I picked up on. And like I said, if anyone has questions, if you're in a conversation with someone, you don't know what to say, if someone's not answering you, whatever it might be, send me a message or call me. Literally just say like, yo, can I call you for 5-10 minutes? And I'll tell you exactly what to say. And I feel like I've gotten really good at this exercise because this is what I'm doing with my dad. I'm asking him, hey, what do I say in this situation? And sometimes I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yes. I'm like, okay. But it always ends up being okay, like everything's always all good. But I wanted to show you just quickly as we wrap up this training portion of the evening, the contact tracking list that my dad is having us do. Let me share my screen. Okay, so can you guys all see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so what is this here? This is how I've started to track contacts that I've made. Now, this doesn't have everyone that I've had a conversation with, because some of my conversations have just been strictly about products, just people having questions, little things like that I haven't listed. But most of these contacts I've made are people that I've intentionally contacted either for a referral or to join the business, to have to start the process of informing them and joining the business.
Yeah, this isn't.
Pardon?
This isn't the right one.
Oh, it's not?
This is the
updated
old
one.
one. Click on the up.
Oh, well, I don't have, this is the one that I have that's updated with my information, because I haven't updated.
Open the one that your dad sent
In
previous.
WhatsApp.
It's not updated. I'm telling you, it doesn't have updated information.
You can show it with respect to the process.
Okay, let's see here.
Obviously, there's definitely more contacts now, but
Yes, okay. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up for us.
Yeah, there's more to it. And
Okay.
while we're
sorry guys.
Is this, it's not in Sovereign Life, is it? Or did he send it to us personally?
it's 3D.
Oh my god, I'm sorry guys. My friend keeps trying to call me.
Okay, this is what you're talking about?
Oh, I said, so you guys are aware, we're gonna be sending you the Excel sheet that Sophia's gonna be talking about.
I'm gonna make a Google Sheets and we can share it. Wait, so this is what you're talking about. Can you see what I'm sharing right now?
Wait, I just saw it. Where'd it go?
Hold on, I think I have to share something else. New share.
For like a second, and then I went away.
This is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there we
That's
go.
Okay, this is new. I've not seen this, but it's
just
a why. It's the 3 conversations in the contact and invite. Why, which includes the contact, right? You're just contacting them and inviting them to take a look at the process. You're looking at their 5 pillars. What's their why? What's my motive? What's their motive? What 2 pillars would they most care about in their life? How, which is the video.
How is the, yeah.
And
So,
link.
wait, so context. We are going to be creating a video that we already filmed. We're just in the process of editing it. And that is something that you guys will be able to use. And that will be in the replacement of the video, right? It might be.
There's 3 videos right now that we're leveraging when we're sending to people that in our toolkit. One of them is the video that the 3 of us created, really just talking about why we got it started with this business and what the vision is there that you guys can definitely use. Another video is a video that my uncle created a while back about the 4 cash flow quadrants. That's one I've been using regularly. And in fact, that can be your first video right off the bat, sent in addition with the website link. And then the 3rd video is a testimonial. We need a product testimonial in there leading up to, let's say, an ABC call, so that, individuals have something to, people that are coming onto the ABC have something to be excited about with respect to the products at the very least. So
To be clear, wait, let's just go back a bit because that was all a little confusing. We have our why, which is what Sophia said, the initial contact when you.
I think we just, hold on, backtrack a little bit more. So this right here form is a way to keep track of all the contacts that you've made and how far, what steps in the process they have achieved, not achieved, but gone through, where are they at in the process of becoming informed about this opportunity?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the why is when you first contact somebody and you want somebody that you want to join your team. You want to be your partner. And so you'll tell them my motive and their motive. And then you set up your ABC call. Before the ABC call is the how. And that will be the link that we sent you, which is the Sovereign Life link, as well as before you send that link, you're going to send them a video. This is a new step we've added to it. The video is going to be one of the two that Elena just explained, either the one of us three speaking or the 4 quadrants video that my dad has. It's also been shared in the Sovereign Life chat, I believe.
Yeah.
So I would take a look at that.
Called the 1%.
Oh, the 1%, yeah. And that video is just really good to help show the like.
It's an education
do you
video. It's
explain
not
it?
an education that you would get, you know, at school or working within the system. It's just an education on what it takes to actually achieve financial freedom. And you actually had this education when you came for the meeting with here at the house, and my uncle, he showed you, you know, the 4 cash flow quadrants.
Sophia.
Yeah.
Or
Yes,
So fun.
and what it takes to get from, let's say, employee to business owner.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like just to prompt the individual to get a context in terms of what they might be getting involved with the business, with respect to the
Mhm.
business.
Yeah. Now, test video is going to be what Elena was saying, is product video. And there's a few of them we're going to be taking a look at, and we'll get you guys informed on everything that all the options for you to send. But the test video is going to be sent either maybe, let's say your calls at your ABC is at night, send it in the morning. Or if your call's in the morning, send it the night before. It's going to be a little video just to prompt them, to get them excited for the call, to get them like reminding them why we're doing this, what we're doing.
Mhm.
So that's going to be the test vid.
Testimonial is
Yeah.
what TEST stands for.
And yeah, sorry. And then the next is the ABC call. And why it says 48 hours is because you want to aim to schedule that ABC call 48 like within 48 hours
Of
of
the why conversation.
live conversation. Sometimes that doesn't work out with people's schedules, and that's okay. But just you want to set the intention of getting that date and making them schedule it as soon as possible.
I would say schedule it before you get off the phone.
That's
That's
what
what I do.
I do as well. Schedule it before you get off the
You
phone.
want to have a date scheduled. They know you're going to follow up. They know there's a process that's involved.
Yeah.
You just get that
Why
done.
is this, guys? Because we don't want to drag out this process. Money loves speed. We want to get people informed as quickly as possible so they can make decisions as quickly as possible so that we can move forward as quickly as
And
possible.
very similarly to what we were saying before with your experience, so when you decided to capitalize your business in that moment, the less time that's involved between each of the steps of the process, the more quickly people are going to make decisions.
Yeah, and a great way to get that scheduled in is to, before you call them, before you have your call, at least look at your schedule, look at our schedule, see or ask us our schedule, see what works, what times, and create at least 2 time slots where they can pick, okay, this day or this day, and work around that so that they can schedule that in with you on the call. Okay, then the next one. So, do you want to continue?
Yeah, honestly, guys, I'm not 100% sure on this, on all these things that have been added, just because these are conversations that we've been having amongst me, Savannah, Elena, and my dad, because this process is constantly being iterated, right? We had a process, we have our link, we know what we've been doing for the last 2 months. We kind of had like a review session and we were like, okay, what's working, what's not, what's missing from our system, what do we need to add in? And so we've been iterating, but this is going to be a constant iteration process. And I want to make it known that our team members are going to be very involved in this as well. As we move forward, as you guys start making your own contacts and invites, we're going to be asking you what's working, what's not, what feedback are you getting from the videos? Do you think we need new videos? Do you think we need less videos? Whatever. So this is a constant conversation, but I guess this is what has been decided as of now. Elena, do you want to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I have a little bit more context as to what this is.
Okay.
We've kind of, like Soph said, we're iterating it. So we kind of added in here after the ABC is, again, we want to be able to touch point with them keep their attention on what it is that we're talking about on the information. And so my uncle was in contact with a consultant that actually does a really great job of educating on the products. And so she plans to make 3 product videos for each of the packs. So he asked her actually, one for the waterfall pack, the water pack, the energy pack, and the sleep pack. And so we were thinking that would be a great thing to then send to them after the ABC call, again, to just refresh their memory, because now we're getting to the point of, making a decision, seeing where they actually fit in the process. Are they going to be a customer? Are they going to be a consultant? And ultimately, we want them thinking about customer at the very least. We want them thinking about products, right? So
Sorry, just to clarify then, so the test video is likely going to be either the 1% or the video of us 3.
no,
No,
And
no,
then-
no, no, no.
it's a testimonial video regardless, because we still need that. We need a
Okay.
product.
Testimonial, it's like proof of product, right? You want to have proof of business, proof of product, proof of plan in this
Exactly.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once you're kind of at this point after the ABC, you're starting to get an idea of where this individual sits within the process. Are they going to become a customer? Are they going to become a consultant? But I think the point at which you really identify that is following the what conversation. This might be a little bit out of order, but I believe it's once we have that what conversation, which is more of the training, getting into.
No, the what conversation is, are they a partner or not?
No, it's not. The big event is, are they a partner?
Yeah.
The what conversation gives them the ins and outs of the business, because they need context. We need context to understand how this business actually works in terms of creating profit and income, what the model looks like, how we leverage, how we scale, all of that. So, and I'm sure you had that conversation as well. And so it's the moment in which we consider it to be a training, but it really is context for the business. And
We're gonna start doing these once a week, I believe.
yeah, we're thinking Saturdays, and we can touch base more in the group to figure out what time works for everyone. But that would be the point at which somebody decides whether they want to become a customer or they want to become a customer with a business account, i.e. consultant. So it's the $19.99, but we're still purchasing product, because at the end of the day, if you're going to be a consultant and you're going to share and build this business, you need to have an opinion with the products. You need to, on some level, become your biggest customer, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that could be something as little as buying a water bottle, right? So I feel like that's what a consultant would look more like. They would have the business account, but they're not necessarily capitalizing their business just yet. So the big event would be essentially what would trigger an individual into action, like yourself. When you heard the whole conversation about making decisions in our last team call. And the big events can also be something like the Seiko Kai events that they have every month. And this would be the thing that would essentially trigger someone to become a partner, to capitalize their business, to invest in a pack, to start, the launch process, and to really get going with it.
And just to be clear, like, I think a big fear a lot of people have, capitalizing your business also means like buy a water bottle, buy magnets, like make at least an investment in your business. There's not a limit to or max to how much you can invest, but make an investment.
And then once you're a partner, what do? You go back to here, back to the why, and you start bringing people through the same process that you were involved in. And that's pretty much how the business goes. And I'm sorry if this explanation sounded really confusing, but really it's 3 conversations, a few videos in between, and then a big event. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Now I want to show you my personal numbers because this is not updated. So let me just switch over. I just want to show you proof of concept here and show you what I did in the last, really this is like 2 months, but a lot of this action happened in like the last month. I've been in contact with at least 24 people. Again, this doesn't include all the people that I've spoken with about products, people that were potential customers. These are mostly contacts that I made intentionally about the business. But you can see how you know, it's like that whole idea of the rule of thirds. Not everyone is going to become a customer. Not everyone's going to become a consultant. Not everyone's going to become a partner, right? About a third of people you contact will become customers, which let's see how many I have here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and potentially a 6th. And there's other customers I have as well, but I wasn't approaching them for the business standpoint. These are people I approach from the business standpoint who became customers. So started taking them through that why conversation and so forth.
Yeah.
So out of about 24 people, 5th. So that's not as good as a third, but that's okay. People say no, it's never going to be a perfect system, right? But just showing you, like, you have to be willing to put yourself out there, to contact people, to bring them through this process. And the more you do it, the more confident you get with it. And you will see results, but it's a numbers game, you know? You have to make a number of contacts. Don't be surprised if you call one person and they say no, and then you're like, oh my God, my confidence is shot. I'm never doing that again. No, you got to be willing to hear a bunch of no's because it's going to lead you to the next yes. Consultants, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people join me as a consultant, but then again, one of them said yes and then said no. And I actually had that happen 3 times. This individual, Sarah, and then I had it happen with Alessia, but she didn't actually do the 1999. She just verbally said to me, yes, I'm going to do it. Then did it. Then a week later, you know, pulled out. And same thing happened with Jane, who said yes verbally to me, didn't pay the $19.99, and then said no. And that happens, you know, and ultimately I don't get mad about that. I'm honestly happy about that because I'm like, I don't want to waste more time on people who aren't willing to actually put in what I'm willing to put in. You know, I don't want the dead weight. So I let people decide for themselves where they're going to fit in it. And I don't get mad if they don't decide to join me because it's like, cool, no hard feelings. I know that you're not the person I'm looking for anyways, right? And of the people who have become consultants, not everyone has capitalized. So if you're the only person on my team, on our team, besides the 3 of us here and Tiana, who has capitalized the business, meaning that you've made a personal investment. And that again shows that you're a leader and that you are actually a partner. You're not just here to try things out and to dip one toe in and then take it out and be flighty. You're here to actually commit to this and put in the time and the energy and the resources.
Yeah.
So out of 24 people contacted, you're the only one that's done this. And that's fine with me. If I'm going to go contact another 24 people and find another one of you, and then another 24 and find another one of you. And 3 solid legs are really what you need to start seeing your business grow. You need 3 partners, people who are going to do the same thing that you're willing to do, to go out then and find 3 partners. So now, if my job is to help you find your 3 partners, right? Well, I'm still on the lookout for my other 2. And it's just a matter of being willing to put myself out there, to talk to people, to invite them through this process, and to let them decide for themselves where they fit into it. A lot of people, I had 5 people give me referrals as well, whether it was for a product or someone that they thought would be great for the business, right? So that's cool too. Something that I started doing in the last week leading up to Silver was I called my uncle and I said, hey, Zio, you have the pie make water. See, you guys are, so if you're lucky because your family doesn't have anything and you need to start there, start with your friends and family. That's what Tiana did. Most of Tiana's volume so far has come from her parents and I think her aunt.
Yeah, her aunt, her parents, and herself.
Right, there you go. You start with your immediate family. You start with the people closest to you. I don't have that luxury because everyone in my family already uses the products.
I just want to speak on behalf of Tiana here because she's not here right now. But she actually, what was I gonna say? Sorry, I got distracted. She actually there's a dog.
Okay, guys, come on.
All
And
right,
delay. I don't want to go too long.
continue and I'll get back on my thought process.
Okay, so yeah, I was saying that Tiana started with her friends and family. That's where you're supposed to start. I didn't have that luxury, but what I did do is I called up my uncle and I said, "Hey, Zio, you love the water so much. Do you know anyone who's super health conscious who would really appreciate having the same quality of water that you enjoy?" And he said, "Yeah, I do have someone like that. Here's 2 guys that you can contact. Of the 2 guys, one of them didn't answer me. Another one did. Called him, started talking to him. He wasn't willing to make a personal investment, but then he led me to his uncle who had a whole slew of health problems. And now I'm in the process of talking to him. So it's just one referral leads to another referral. If the uncle doesn't decide to do anything, he told me his niece is a naturopath and his son-in-law is like an osteopath, and he knows a lot of holistic healers in his family. So it's like one contact just leads to the next and the next and the next. You just got to be willing to follow up with people and ask them for their help, ask them for a referral.
To go back on my thought.
Yes.
So what I was saying was, although Tiana's not here right now, I know one thing she did do is she actually got her parents on a call with my dad.
True.
So she said that she knew her parents needed some products. She told her parents about the products. She texted my dad and said, "Can you get on a call with my parents and we can talk to them about the products?" And they did exactly that. They got all the information they needed to make the purchase and they made their purchase. So that's something that anybody can do and you all have access to.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, again, like this really is a numbers game. So, you know, if we're really going by the rule of thirds by the end of the month to end off with, let's say, 3 partners, 3 individuals who have capitalized on their business and have gone through the entire process, we would have need to have started contacting 81 different individuals.
81 people, yeah.
So that's how the numbers work. And
So
there's
how are
social proof
yours?
for this, right?
My numbers are actually a little better than that. I contacted 24 people.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's not a third of 81.
Yeah.
know?
Right.
I got 1 partner.
Right.
Yeah. So just to show you, it works. Does it take effort? Yes. Is it going to take some time? Yes.
But with this process, specifically beginning with the contact and invite, there is absolute social proof for the process that we're using here. It's been used. It's generated results well before us, and it has even for ourselves. Like you said, Sophia has done this by contacting 24 individuals. And so we have a structure, we have a rhythm. You know, it's not just blindly reaching out to people.
And I went silver, and I already paid back my initial investment in an energy pack.
Right.
Mm.
So really, it's just the
Nice.
ability to leverage the tools and resources and the system that already exists for us, and to be able to, you know, take action as confidently, as quickly as possible to really get that momentum building. And so I think we can, with that, transition into what we want to take away from this call. And
Motivation.
Hold on, guys. I need to turn my
I
lights
know
on.
we're like struggling in the dark here. But a goal collectively that we want to set for the team for the next week, by next week's call, essentially, so that we can really start getting this process going and start to generate some results for you, especially so, given that you just recently capitalized your business. And so this is the perfect opportunity to start to build that momentum.
Yeah.
So
I think, sorry,
what
go
were you-
ahead.
No, I was just going to set the call to action essentially, but what were you going to
Yeah.
say?
Go. That's what I was going to do too.
Perfect. So what we're thinking is and this is going to be the same for the whole team because they'll have access to the recording, but we're thinking by next week's call.
We're not thinking. We're
Sorry.
deciding.
Wait, let's decide. Sorry. Motivation. By next week's call, each individual sell at least 1 waterfall. At least 1. Just 1. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Well,
Yep.
what we want to have, it's not exactly that. What we want to have,
This is more too.
no, that will be the result of it. But we want each and every one of us to have contacted 3 customers and 3 prospects for the business. Okay. And the result of that should be the sale of 1 waterfall by next Wednesday.
At the very least.
Very least.
At the very least.
additionally to that, just in doing so, things that you can do, things that Sophia spoke about is I am. Start saying I am like a business owner. I am somebody who's capitalizing. I am somebody
I'm a
who
CEO.
is, I'm CEO. I'm someone who's succeeding in this. Start visualizing yourself selling this waterfall. Rather than that, you'll make how much is it? 100? How much do you make selling a waterfall, Sophia?
Um, I'm not, I don't know exactly for one waterfall because I've only looked at the performance commissions for 2 or more.
I think it's about 100 something.
But regardless, we're not looking to sell 1 waterfall in a month. We're looking to sell 4, but if we aim for 1 a week, that's 4, right?
What I mean by that is you want to start feeling what it feels like to sell that. And that's where the law of attraction comes in. And so start visualizing like, okay, what am I going to do with this money that I'm making? If that's your motivation, if money is your motivation right now, what are you going to do with that money that you just made? Feel it, think about it, because that's what's going to help you and motivate you to make those calls, to get yourself selling these waterfalls. And so one thing I wanted to ask Sophia actually, based on what you did, and I don't know if some other people are going for silver this month, but me and Elena are both going for silver this month. We just, I think it's
run.
silver run. I think it's our second month, not our third.
No, mine's my third.
Oh, you need, it's
It's
your
our third,
third.
mine's my second. But we both want to achieve it this month. And so I think I've spoken to Tiana about it. She's on it board with me. And we encourage everyone to make that goal if that's their choice. But Sophia, I wanted to ask you particularly what advice you would give to the team in regards to achieving silver, if that is what our goal this month,
What
or
advice I would give to the
selling
team?
something, and even selling something. What's the one advice that you've learned from something from this past month for yourself?
I think I already kind of touched on it, but honestly, it's get comfortable getting uncomfortable.
Okay.
Know that every moment you spend uncomfortable is a moment where change is happening in your life.
I like that.
Because if you're not uncomfortable, nothing's changing.
Yep.
Also, just to clarify the benefits of silver that Sophia now has, because she's reached silver, she gets to maximize earnings for personal and group volume generated. She has an active leadership bonus pay. And what is that? What does that conclude?
6% on any Soph, any sales you do, I'm gonna make this certain there's multiple bonuses that can happen for people who are in your downline. There's some bonuses that I'll get on commissions that you make. But the leadership bonus is 6% on one generation below you, and with each rank advancement you unlock another generation, so I can start making income on generations even below you and so forth, up to 6 generations deep. And that's really where the passive income comes from. It's being able to make money on work that you're not doing. So that's kind of the first step. Silver is like the first gateway of unlocking that channel.
6% for generations of silvers.
Yeah.
And then the third thing that she gets, the third benefit is company recognition, of course. The company recognizes you. I think Elena even spoke at our last event because she did, what did you do?
It was sorry, not the power start. It was the retail bonus on the waterfalls.
No, power start.
Yeah, well, that was, they were recognizing me for the retail bonus on the waterfalls.
Yeah, and so she got even recognized by the company. And the last thing is that, of course, Sophia's setting team expectations and she's setting the pace for us here. So it's great.
And additional higher commissions on those waterfall sales.
Yeah.
It goes higher after you hit silver. So thank you guys very much. It's your turn now to get on the bandwagon. And I'm here to support you every step of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Write it down in your journal. I'm so
Mhm.
happy and grateful to have helped one person get clean alkaline water this week.
Mhm.
That's the way I would phrase it.
Yeah.
I would say I would write that down throughout the month. I would just write down, I'm so happy and grateful to be helping this many people have clean alkaline water in their homes,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And then you just start taking action. It's a law of
Yeah.
action and the law of attraction. And this is all you have your $1 million list, right? You start thinking about those names, pick three people that you're going to contact about the business. You're going to have the why conversation. You're going to set up an ABC with me.
Mhm.
And you're going to send them the link, the Sovereign Life
Mhm.
link. We don't have those other videos ready yet for just, so right now, just ask me when you're ready to go. And this goes for anyone listening to this recording. When you're ready to go, when you know, hey, I'm having a call with this person, like you can even call me up and we can practice beforehand. And then I'll tell you exactly what you need to, how you need to wrap up that to make sure that the next step happens. 3 people this week for that. And then you make 3 contacts about a waterfall specifically. And if you need a refresher on that, go check out the last meeting that we did, explaining how to sell a waterfall, because that's going to give you all the info you need.
I just wrote it down. Did you?
Yes.
Write it down. Take action.
Awesome.
Also, I highly recommend getting a journal or a book to keep track.
Mhm.
I have this book, we all have a book, and we write down all our notes that we have in
Yep.
meetings, whatever we have going on.
Yep.
I have some notes on I want to hit silver. I wrote down all the things that I need to do to get that.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Great.
great call, guys. Thank you so for tuning in and for taking the time to actually be present.
Of course.
You know, as we've been mentioning, we've been saying it since day one, really sustain action within this business is what will generate the most results and will generate and exponentiate that growth. So
Yeah.
good for you for showing up and keep
Thank
showing
you.
up.
Yes.
Continue to do the same. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay,
All
guys.
right, guys. Pip,
Yeah.
pip, cheerio. Have a beautiful week. Let's get it
You
done.
too. Woo.
Woo.
Awesome.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.